page just to report that the public outreach that was done by LA Waterworks, the people were really well informed. They had done their homework on clorimines. They were all against clorimines. And in the Lancaster meeting particularly, there was a lot of, they said there wasn't too many customers, but there really were. There was a lot of water purveyors, a lot of engineers, a lot of expertise there in the Lancaster meeting. And they had very good questions and were pinning Adam or Ricky to the wall. And because they had so much expertise about the subject. So that was very interesting to go to. All of East Kern has unanimously decided we are not going to take chlorine. So that's a big statement. And to have a split disinfection system in this valley does not seem likely, I hope. So at any rate, we're not in East Kern going to take them. And there's a lot of reasons why. I don't know if y'all have seen this picture. It's not a very good picture if you want to pass that all around. That's the kind of corrosion that happens with chloramines. Just eats at the copper pipes. And I did have, there's a lot more articles now with Dr. Mark Edwards. He's one of the leading experts in water corrosion in the homes. He's an engineer. He has his PhD and his undergraduate and all kinds of things. Lots of letters after his name. But I'd like to read you this. This is his statement. He says, one pinhole leak in a home isn't so bad, Edwards says, but once you have two, plumbers and their insurers usually recommend replacing the plumbing, figuring that other leaks are bound to happen. That's typically a $2,000 to $6,000 investment. If those leaks cause mold problems inside the walls, the home's resale value could plummet. The problem was Edwards discovered that no one wanted to take responsibility for the problem. Homeowners were basically left to fend for themselves, he says. The historical mentality of the water industry is that its problem with water ends at the street. Anything that happens beyond your meter, they'll just make sure that their water is in compliance with the regulations, and that's about it. And you're on your own. And he says here, some of the homeowners I dealt with had literally lost their homes, and he's referring to homes that had chloramines and had taken out the copper pipes. And he cited in another article 3 times they've replaced their plumbing with copper pipes, not realizing it was chloramines that was doing it. So if you can go online, he has great information. There's really some great interviews with Mark Edwards, and you can learn an awful lot about, there's probably more than you ever want to know about chloramine. And he said that in Washington, D.C., the net result in D.C. Was that we are exchanging a few parts per billion of a suspected carcinogen for hundreds or even thousands parts per billion of lead, a known public health threat. Now, in Washington, D.C., they actually literally had whole lead pipes. Here, we don't have that problem. But we do have lead in brass. We do have lead in connecting features. And so anywhere there's lead or copper, it will leach with chloramine. So it's still a concern. I would like to encourage all of you, if you have not made contact with Supervisor Antonovich's office, to do so. Express your interest and your concern about the water disinfectant. And I always recommend do your homework, go online. There's lots of information, pro and con. I've read all the pro, I've read most of the con. And, it's really not a good disinfectant. There's other choices. What we're recommending is GAC, granulated activated carbon. Remove the organics out of the water. Remove those things that cause THMs, and then you won't create THMs with the chlorine. And then, there's other things out there that can be used as well. Chlorine dioxide is a real viable disinfectant. There's other choices rather than chloramines. And so we're encouraging everybody to get educated. It's what you're going to be drinking, and showering. You want to know what's in your water, and we certainly don't want chloramine in it. So if you have any questions, take
website.
Huh?
Website name.
Website. You can go on chloramine.org, chloramine.org, and there's also another one, VCE. It's Vermonters for a Clean Environment, and they are, and that's .org as well. and they have different information, things that they discovered on the East Coast. They're in very much dialogue with the EPA. I've had one of my sources has gone to the Water Committee in Washington, D.C. They are aware of the lead leaching problem of chloramines, that there are problems with chloramines. And Senator Ruskin has just put out a House resolution. If you get out of committee, he wants a resolution passed to study chloramines because of the health issues and the health risks. So politically, it's out there. There's a lot of movement going on, and what we need to continue putting in you as a voter, your voice, your input, your desires as to what you want to see drinking in the law. Any other questions? Okay, is that good?